Good morning, church. It's Pastor Mike. I'm sitting here in my office. I'm reading some news and reading different scripture and commentaries and things. And I've currently got a cat sitting here on my lap. And so if you hear her meowing or purring, sorry about that. But I wanted to share a bit of a word of hope from scripture this morning from Psalm 67. If you're like me, when you go to read the news, if you're reading it in a newspaper, on your phone, on your computer, it sometimes can be a source of information, but far more often can be a source of desperation. It can be stress inducing, stress causing, and it can be a reason to despair. But in Psalm 67, the psalmist says, "May the nations be glad and sing for joy, for you rule the peoples with equity and guide the nations of the earth." See, there's reason to hope and sing for joy when we recognize who is in control. No matter what's going on in the world, that God's reign is uninterrupted. God does not go up for election every 4 years. God's decisions and guidance aren't based on polling data and what's going to reflect best with the masses. God leads based on truth and justice and love. He leads with equity, with concern for all peoples. He says, "May all the nations be glad. May all peoples praise you, God." That's the hope of God for us today. That no matter what's going on in our world, no matter who's in charge, the decisions that are being made, or who's running against them, God reigns entirely. God's reign is secure and supreme. And not just that, but his reign is loving and kind. If we have to hitch ourselves to any wagon of those people who are in charge today, let us hitch our wagon to God, who reigns entirely and who leads with justice and truth. The psalmist goes on and he says, "Bless us still that all the ends of the earth will fear him." He's saying if we go to God and we recognize God's blessing in our lives, then when we turn that around to praise, to witness, to testimony, when we shout it from the rooftops and the rafters that our God guides and leads and protects us, then we will draw other people into God's kingdom and into his reign. So God bless you today, as he has already. May you be taken over by the image of God in control. And may we take that same image and that same comfort into the world to those who might not know him. God bless you today.